committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Well, I mean, listen, they have a right to their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing, you know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself. You want me to? I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
I know it's hard work.
Sure he did. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for being here, and thank you for being patient. I know I've been gone for a few weeks, so I'll talk about why that is at the end of the show. But the first thing we're going to talk about is Kash Patel and Dan Bongino kind of having a public outcoming saying, you know, Jeffrey Epstein killed himself, what I think about it, and then some other news stories that I may have missed while I was gone. Thank you guys for being here. Give me a thumbs up in the chat. Give me a thumbs up in the comment section. And for the algorithm on the video, if everything sounds good, Dream Rare Podcast starts now. Let's get it cracking.
It's the Dream Rare Podcast. Welcome to the show. The way to get the news at the desk or on the road. Let's go. God is great and success in our control. The world is crazy, but we get better from obstacles. Yeah.
What's going on Facebook? What's going on YouTube? What's going on Rumble? I appreciate you guys for being here, especially the early birds. Early bird gets the worm, and even those late bloomers who watch it on the rerun. Let's see. We got some thumbs up. I just want to make sure everything's good. I've been away for a while. I know my lighting's a little off. I'll get that better next time, but I wanted to come live today, do this show for you, and then we'll keep it moving, and I'll have some really good journalistic pieces that are better recorded than this. Joshua said, never believe nonsense like this. Mr. D said, my favorite person is back. Appreciate y'all. Just want to make sure everything sounds good before I start, and then I'm guessing it does. I mean, barring any crazy situations. Let's get into one of the videos I just played. Here's another one that happened while I was gone. Senator Kennedy, I think he is a senator. Maybe he's a House member. Let me check. He asked Kash Patel pretty bluntly about Epstein. Let's watch.
Did Jeffrey Epstein hang himself or did somebody kill him?
Senator, I believe he hung himself in a cell in the Metropolitan Detention Center.
Are you going to release all the information about that?
Senator, we are working through that right now with the Department of Justice.
When you think you'll have it done, Kash?
I think in the near future, sir.
Like before I die?
Senator, we've been working on that, and we're doing it in a way that protects victims and also doesn't put out into the ether information that is irrelevant for production of the public, such as CSAM.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senator Reid.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
So they're taking a while because it's for the public. Before I play another clip, I guess I'll say what I think about that. Do I believe Kash Patel and Dan Bongino? No. Do I think they're lying? I mean, yes, but I don't know that they're like purposely lying. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend like I know who these people are, what's inside their head. But when you get into government, you know, you become the government. And when Dan Bongino has a podcast and Kash Patel's selling a book, it's easy to say, like, I'd shut down the FBI building day one and all that stuff. And then when they get in there, you know, they get these intel reports, like they used to give Trump intel reports, which are basically like, here, Trump, this is what we want you to believe. We want a war with Syria. So we're going to tell you to start a war with Syria or Iran. Whatever the agenda is, they give you that information trying to push people in the right direction. And I think it was the first term where there was constant conflicts between Trump. They're like, he's not listening to the briefings. He's disagreeing. And basically, in my opinion, that means that he's doing what he thinks is right, not what the deep state wants him to do. So, you know, I don't know if I would call it a lie necessarily, because of course I'm not there. I don't know what they're seeing, etc. And to be honest, I don't know what happened to Jeffrey Epstein. I have my opinions and beliefs, but obviously, like, they're giving Dan Bongino information, and Dan Bongino's like, we've seen the information. You've seen what they've shown you. You've seen what they documented. I remember my buddy used to say the government doesn't document their crimes. Like when it comes to JFK or this, as far as what really happened, of course, there's going to be some things that are written down, but I'm not saying this is true, but let's just say the government is in on one of them, or let's, you know, the guard fell asleep. Like that obviously didn't happen. So someone was in on something. I mean, I think everybody believes that. Like the cameras weren't working. Like it was some sort of setup happened somehow, right? I think everybody thinks that. is the government going to sit there and write down, hey, this is what we did, or this is what we allowed to happen, or this is what country we're working on behalf? Probably not. So, this confidence that Bongino has, like, I've seen the files. Trust me, I've looked at them all. You guys don't know, but, I know you're not going to believe me, but this is what I've seen. You've seen what they've shown you, and you've seen what they wrote down. They're not writing their crimes down. They're not showing you anything that's going to, release a bombshell they don't want released. So I feel like, I'm not going to knock Kash and Bongino that much. And I do have, I would say, a personal bias. Like with Kash Patel, I didn't really know who he was. He was very popular on the conservative media outlet, but I didn't really pay attention to him. So instinctually, I like Kash. I think he seems like a cool guy. With Dan Bongino, I'm not saying he's not a cool guy, but I'm not really a huge fan. He's had a podcast. He's way more out there. He has a big Facebook page, or he did before he became the FBI director. And I don't dislike Dan Bongino. It's not like I hate him or anything. I think he seems pretty, I get why he's popular. I've seen a lot of rants that I did like from him. He comes across very authentic, but I don't think, I don't know how to say this without getting, interrogated by the FBI director. No, I'm just kidding. But I just don't think Dan Bongino is the smartest guy. Like his analysis was not mind blowing. He seems really excited about things that are not that deep. Like he just, it's like they give him information and he's like, that's what I've seen. Like, is he bright enough to know that they're not sending him everything? Even if he does know, like it's not his job to be a podcaster anymore. It's his job to be a government. He's a government employee right now. So he's got to, be the best he can be, but at the same time, he's not free to just say whatever he thinks. Like he has a job, he has, he's got to balance it a little bit better than just like ranting. So, I guess I just don't expect that much from Dan Bongino in or outside of FBI director. And I'm not like super shocked or I don't know, surprised. Like, is this supposed to be surprising? Like, I guess some people think that Bongino was going to like release the Kraken or something, but one thing I will say before I play the next clip is a lot of people on Twitter that I've noticed are like, everybody in MAGA's falling for it because it's Kash and Dan Bongino. I don't really see that. On my Facebook page, it's way more pro-Trump and way more, I would say, like, just Republican team player. And even all the Republican team players and the pro-Trump people on my Facebook page, like, they're not even buying it. So I feel like the people saying, oh, everybody's just buying what Kash Patel's saying, I don't really see it. I think most people, whether they like Trump or Dan Bongino or Kash or not, they're like, oh, you're just doing what everyone else is doing. Like 90% of people are not really buying it, but actions speak louder than words. So, they have a couple years now to do something impressive enough to make people respect them and think they did a good job. I'm not going to hold my breath, but I wish them both well. Here's another clip of him talking about the shooters. Trump had one guy who tried to literally kill him at a rally and then another guy who was hiding in a tree. And Dan Bongino is letting us know that he's seen the files and there's nothing, irregular or whatever. Let's look.
You know what, Maria? Kash is not kidding. We've been personally briefed extensively on every single detail, nugget, tendril of this case. One is actively in court right now, so out of respect for the case, it's probably more appropriate that I stay quiet on that. However, I'm not going to tell people what they want to hear. I'm going to tell you the truth, and whether you like it or not is up to you.
Tell me the truth, Dan Bongino. You are the truth teller. Please tell us the truth, brother.
If there was a big explosive there, right? Given my history as a Secret Service agent and my personal friendship as a director does with the president, give me one logical, sensible reason we would not have. If you can think of one, there isn't. There in some of these cases, the there you're looking for is not there. And I know people, I get it. I understand. It's not there. If it was there, we would have told you.
It's just not there. With the second shooter, it was a guy that was in Ukraine recruiting ex-Taliban members. He had a bunch of mainstream media interviews. It's very bizarre stuff. And then they started saying that it was Iran because, of course, the American deep state in both parties, they want to start a war with Iran. So it's like you're convincing me that an American citizen who went to Ukraine to recruit Taliban members is working for Iran. Like, it doesn't even make sense, but that's the war that they want to start next. So they're blaming everything on Iran, just like they blamed everything on Russia when Trump first got into office. So it's like, even out of the nothing that's there, they've already made a bigger story out of it. So is there nothing, or is it what they said? I don't believe what these guys are saying, but I get that this is their job now. So let's listen to this clip real quick of Dan Bongino before he got in, because he wanted to talk about the Epstein stuff. He got like really excited, as if like everybody doesn't already know this, but he was on Tim Pool's podcast. He's like, dude, somebody on Fox told me that like Epstein just might have worked for somebody in the Middle East. Like everyone already knows this, but Dan, he reminds me of like, I'm not trying to be rude, and I'm also not trying to get investigated by the FBI, my first job back at work. But you know, it's like if I bash Dan enough, is he going to just turn on me? No, but jokes aside, I mean, it's just like, he reminds me of like a dog almost, where he's like getting really excited about this. And it's like, does he think that this is something that only he knows because he talked to somebody at Fox? Because anybody with a Twitter account at this point has seen the evidence for this. But anyway, here's a clip.
About a year and a half after that, I'm in a green room at Fox, and I'm not going to say who because they didn't give me permission to share it. But well, the short story, but I don't know who they are. It says, you know, Epstein's an intelligence asset for people in the Middle East, right? I'm like, no, I didn't know that. I'm like, you sure that? The person, let's say, is like, I'm absolutely sure of that he's either a witting or unwitting asset, intelligence asset, meaning his plane and that island, the cameras, there's a big assumption out there that these videotapes were exclusively in the custody of Epstein.
He's like, this guy backstage told me like Epstein might have been working for someone in the Middle East. And he's like, you know that? He's like, I didn't know that. It's like, his reaction just cracks me up. He think like, you know, it's my first day back at work. I'm not trying to be rude, and I'm not trying to isolate my fan base. So I'm trying to figure out how to say this, not condescending. I think it's too late for that, but it's like, he's a very boomer brain where it's like obvious stuff that we've known for years. He'll act like it's this bombshell, and he's like, can you believe that? And it's like, yeah. Did you think that only that guy back at Fox News knew that? Because there's like full-blown reports all over social media of people that have spent hours researching, pointing. I mean, it's even in the Daily Mail at this point. Daily Mail published an article about which Middle Eastern country they probably work for. But you know, to Dan, it's what? What? No, really? It's like, but now he's the FBI director. So of course, you know, I don't know. Hopefully he thinks I'm a funny court jester or something, because I don't know any other way to do my job without making a joke out of that, because it was funny to me, but it's whatever. Anyway, here's the second part of the clip.
That's a huge mistake. The reason they wanted this story to go away is because there's an assumption like, oh yeah, Epstein had him. No, he wasn't the only one who had him, according to this source. These assets, that's why this blackmail story makes so much sense. Which Middle Eastern countries they are, I don't know. But this person, who is a very, very good reporter, I mean, aces, right? Swore Epstein was either a witting or unwitting intelligence asset, and they may have had his plane wired up, and they're the ones who have all this stuff. So the point is, to sum it up,
dude, that's why like the blackmail story like makes so much sense, dude. Like it's like a light bulb went off in his head. It's like, did you just really figure out? And he seems like an authentic guy, so I don't think he's playing dumb on this topic. Like he thought of this. He's like, what? Dude, the blackmail story, it's like starting to make so much sense, because like he might have worked for like a foreign country, like in the middle. It's like everyone on the show is probably like, Dan, we've known this for 5 years now. And you're acting like this is like so shocking. It would be like someone being like, you know, the sky's blue this morning. Dude, the cloud? There's cloud in the sky? Dude, no way. Like you're saying the cloud, the cumulus nimbus? No way, bro. Oh my gosh. Like Epstein worked for anyway, but that was beforehand. Now, you know, case closed. He killed himself. But anyway, with the Epstein stuff, someone mentioned that they asked about the killing of Epstein, but they didn't really get into the detail of any other question. Like, it's like, did he kill himself? Which is part of the story, but it's like, who did he work for? What was he doing? These are other parts of the story that are like pretty huge, that don't seem any closer to getting revealed. So I don't really know what else to say about that. I've made as much comedy out of it as I can, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't really have high expectations, and it seems like Kash and Dan, you know, they can only do so much. And even for myself, with a humility here, it's like, it's easier to talk about something than to do something. So if you have all these ideas of what you think and what you want to do, when you run a podcast, it's easy to do that. And it's a beautiful thing, and you have free speech, and that's why America's great. But, being the FBI director or being the deputy, whatever, Dan Bongino is, it's like now you only have you can only do so much, I guess. I didn't really have expectations for them. So I don't really know what to say. None of this is shocking to me. I'll read some comments. I know like Joe Biden got diagnosed with cancer, and apparently Scott Adams did. So I want to start with Scott and just say, prayers to Scott Adams. We've had our many feuds, but I've always liked Scott. I think he's a nice guy. And even when he didn't like me, I thought it was funny and I just wanted to debate him. So I never really took it that seriously. So, God bless Scott. Prayers to his full recovery. It seems like a nice guy. With Biden, I mean, I like to be respectful as well, but I don't know. I guess I don't feel the same with Biden. I would never wish ill on somebody. I just don't really care that much about Joe Biden. No offense, but the things that he did to this country, the way he tried to treat people during the COVID lockdown, the way they tried to bully so many women, children, men, workers, what you name it, to get the COVID vaccine. Was disgusting, despicable, and evil. So, I'm not the type of person that sits and acts like I like or care about people that I don't. I would never wish ill on somebody, but at the same time, like, do I like really care about Joe Biden? Not at all. And I'm not going to pretend to now. It does seem interesting that, since it's so far along and when you're the president, you have the best doctors in the world and you're getting checked all the time. So, the theory is coming out now that they covered it up and just basically used Joe Biden and let it get worse. And I don't really know. I'm going to wait for more information, but there does seem to be plausibility to that, where it's like, how is it so bad now? And you just found out about it. Like, this guy never goes to the doctor when he's 80 years old and he's the president of the United States. Something's not adding up with that. But I don't really know what to think. I'll be patient and as respectful as I can be. When it comes to other stories, like while I was gone, I know there was like, Trump was going to the Middle East and getting along with Qatar, and the pro-Israel people were mad. And then he said something pro-Israel, like pro-Netanyahu, and then the people that thought he was on their side are getting mad. With that whole thing, one, when I'm on vacation and spending time with my family, I don't really think about the news that much. But also, it's like, this is all just WWE to me. So I'm like tired of getting stressed out about this stuff. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. It's like nothing is that unbelievable to me. I don't believe anybody in government. I like Thomas Massey. The rest of them are just whatever to me. So I don't know what to really think. It's like if you just tell the truth and you just ignore the news, it's like it's always the news. Like, you could take a report I did in 2019 and bring it back, and it would be like, a brand new report for most news channels, but it's just like the same story on loop, and I've already covered it so many times. So I'll read some of the comments about see what you guys want to talk about. But the FBI director thing stuck out to me, and I guess it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see the pro MAGA people realize that they're really never going to do that much, because I think Trump's doing some things he's not doing. But the expectations I feel like that some people have, I don't see them being met particularly. So I wonder, like, the real change in this country is going to come when people actually pay attention and they're not just being fanboys. And you have to be patient, because you can't force somebody to feel a certain way. And it's like, it'll be interesting to see when that happens, because, Trump doesn't really have 4 years. He does, but he has like 2 years, because you have 2 years when you have the House, the Senate, the presidency before the next election. So it's one of those things where it's like they don't have unlimited time to just mess around. Like, there's another election coming up soon, and Republicans probably will lose it, and then Democrats will take over the House or whatever. So, or maybe the Senate, but hopefully just the House, or hopefully neither. But it's like, what are they doing? The only thing I've been hearing, because I know they're doing some things with illegal immigrants and there's court cases, I keep hearing about this big, beautiful bill. They're like, we have this big, beautiful bill. It's like, if it's more than one page, it's not beautiful. It's probably a scam. It's probably going to run up the deficit. Maybe it's better than what Joe Biden would have passed, but it's like, this is what we get when Trump's in it. Like, him overselling a big, beautiful bill. I don't know. I know there's other stuff going on. So I'll read some comments. Let's see. Any thoughts on Trump and the Republicans flooding the country with H-1B Indians to replace American workers to continue what Biden was doing? I mean, I don't know that they're doing that, but I do know there was a huge debate about it a couple months ago. I haven't really kept up on it, but I know it was like Sam Hyde. I really thought he made a fantastic video about that stuff, calling out Elon Musk. And, I think that it's nice to help people, but here's what I think about race and culture and countries, because it's like there's a way to understand that race does play a role without like hating other people. Like I don't hate people. I don't hate people in India. I don't hate people in China. But the truth is there's a billion people in India. There's a billion people in China. I think there's billions of people in Africa. I haven't counted recently, but and there's 300 million people in America. So it's like, India could send 300 million people to America, completely shift the demographics of America, send 200 million people to Canada, completely shift Canada. It's already happening. And then still completely control their country. And it's like, if we send a bunch of white or black people or Mexicans to, India and had enough to shift the demographics, and we're changing India, and now Bollywood's not a thing and it's not Indian anymore, and they start getting upset, I wouldn't call them racist. Like, I don't think you necessarily hate me if you want your country to stay your country. So this is a conversation that it's not going to be solved by government or the Republican Party, but it's a real conversation, because right now in the mainstream, it's like, oh, either you're racist, or like the liberals will say, either flood your country with illegals or you're racist. Republicans will say, flood your country with legal immigrants or you're racist. And it's like, is there any middle ground, or no? Is everyone just a bad person that doesn't like? So I'm not really following, but I think India has so many people. There needs to be a real discussion about like, what type of country do we want America to be? And how, like, do we have no say? Is it just like everyone come to America and now we have no identity anymore? I mean, I think you have a right to have an opinion without being called hateful for it. So that discussion to me is starting to be really popular on social media, really popular on Twitter. And I saw this coming for years now. And all these things that are like boiling over the edge, they were always going to get to this point, because it's just like the suppression of dialogue and being like, you can't say this. It's like, okay, but you could say the other side of the argument and you're just a good person because you think that. It's the same with all this anti-Semitism stuff. I don't want to bring it up because I talk about it enough, but it's like the interesting thing to me with the word anti-Semitism is the fact that Candace Owens is banned from Australia for hate speech and a thought crime and reporting. And an Argentinian politician is getting charged in court for anti-Semitism. You could get thrown in jail in Germany for questioning history. Like, to me, yes, there's annoying people online. There's hateful people. There's obnoxious anonymous people. Yeah, I get it. It's annoying. But to me, the bigger story is the fact that there's one topic that is very not able to be talked about all over the world. And in America, we have the First Amendment. And that's why people are so sensitive to when Trump starts passing anti-Semitism laws. It's like, are you trying to do what is happening in Australia and Canada? Because we don't want that here. We want the First Amendment. So, there's all these things going on, whether it's H-1B or that. I think people have the right to voice their opinion about it without being censored or called names. Because, yeah, I mean, to me, I like people from everywhere, but it's just like in America. I don't want to live everywhere. There's certain places I prefer better. And I think that people should have the right to be like, yeah, no, I want this, not this. How come some people could be like, I want this city to change, and you're like, that's great, and then other people say it and that's hateful? It's like it's this false narrative that's been painted, and I think it takes two to tango. So it's relied on people believing it and buying into it and being afraid to be honest about it. And I can't speak for everybody, but for me, I think that it's nice to be honest, but I'm also a thoughtful person. Some people are just blunt and rude. I'm not a rude person. I try to be as respectful as I can be. I mean, sometimes I probably am rude. And like, I'm making fun of Dan Bongino because I thought it was funny for my show. Maybe some people would consider that rude. I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's like, I don't hate anybody. I don't hate any country. I don't hate any culture or religion. But I want to be able to talk about it and point things out. And I will, whether people think I'm hateful or not, because I'm not. But I try to mix, bluntness with thoughtfulness. That's just how I am as a person. Someone said, I don't want any refugees from anywhere. I mean, it makes sense. The refugee situation has been people have taken advantage of it. It's like with welfare. When it first came out, it's for people who need help. Now, probably easily over half the people on welfare don't actually need it. They're just taking advantage of it. It's the same thing with refugees. Like, at one point in humanity, I'm sure refugees needed rescuing. Now everybody's just taking advantage of it because they want to go to other places and there's not a strict rule set. So I think that, like refugees nowadays, like they're not just regular refugees. It's like they just want to go to a different country, which I understand. It's like some countries have better economies, better opportunities. But I think about it as this too. I was on vacation and I went to a few different islands. Some of the islands I went to were nice. Some of them weren't. Obviously, there's storms and economy, but I do believe, like, say you gave 20 different people a house, not everybody would keep it clean. Some people would trash it. It's like this idea that everyone's going to do the same thing. Like it's this fake utopian thought process. Like I could give 20 people exactly what I have, and you could give me what you have. And we're not going to do the same things. We're not going to put up the same decorations. It's not going to be clean and productive. Some people are going to do this. Some people are going to do that. So it's like, that's the reality of the world. And if certain people, like for me, being an American, being raised the way I was raised, like I like order. I like order. I like stoplights. I like people that clean the streets. I like neighbors that you trust. That's what I like. The whole world doesn't operate like that. Some people do, some people don't. But this idea that everyone will operate like that if you give them the free will to do so, it's not true. Like some people will, some people won't. Some people you could help, some people you can't. But it's like this fake utopian idea has destroyed the West, because it's like, oh, if you give these people this, if you give these people that, they'll do just what you're doing. They're going to do exactly what you're doing. It's not true in any sense of the word. It's not true by gender. It's not true by religion or ethnicity, and it's not true by individual. Like no matter how you group people, you take 10 people of different ethnicities, 10 people of the same ethnicity, you give them the same things, they're not going to get the same results. That's just human nature, and there's nothing wrong with it. But it's like we've operated on a government basis. Like we'll bring people in from everywhere, we'll give them all this stuff, and then they're going to be just like your neighbor. Maybe they might be, but they also might not. So can we have a conversation about how and why, and then we could figure out what we want? Well, I've taken it upon myself to have these conversations. I started a YouTube channel, I made my own business, and now I can afford to do it. So that's what we're doing here. Someone said this channel is criminally underrated. I agree. Thank you, Hot Sauce 456. I'm very biased, but thank you. Yeah, so I'll hang out for a few more, but I'll keep this pretty brief, and then I'm going to be back with some like real reports with a nicer camera and stuff. I got a lot of plans, but I took a break. I took a spontaneous vacation. I saw my family for a couple weeks, and I enjoyed myself. Now it's back to work, so that's really all I have to say right now. Someone said they're making the world vanilla. You could say that. Some would say they're making it less vanilla, if you get my drift. But no, that was like a skin color joke. But you're saying they're making it more vanilla by like making people softer, which is true. I'm saying, yeah, you get it. That's a funny joke or a hate crime. I don't know. Let's see. Someone said he's only reading YouTube comments. Well, fact check false, Ken. I just read your comment. You like that? Suffix said, you're so shadow banned, it's crazy. At one point I was, but I have like 1 billion views. I have millions of followers. I reach like 100 million people a month on Facebook. I don't think I'm really that shadow banned. Maybe on YouTube a little bit, but I'm not playing the victim. I just think I got to make better and more consistent content. I just went away for a month. So when you leave for a month and come back, you're not going to gain the same type of following you had, but I'll get it back. I'll get it back within a week. I always do this. That's another thing too. I don't want to get too much into it, but for years, it's like I never wanted to take that many breaks because you're like a slave to the algorithm. If you leave, you're going to lose a lot of what you built, and it's scary, and it affects your income, etc. But I don't want to be a slave to the algorithm. Great things happen when you live in reality and enjoy yourself and do things in the real world. So I'm trying to work hard this year, obviously, but I'm not tripping about not making videos for a few weeks. It's like, it's okay. If it doesn't come back, it's not meant to be. Someone said a park for $39 million in taxes by my house, 100% a refugee camp. That sounds horrible. They're just dumping refugees at a park. I don't know where you live, but I guess I'm not surprised by that, given how crazy the world is. Like every day someone tells me something crazy that I don't even see on social media. Like I was talking to my neighbor the other day, and he was like, did you see like a transgendered like billiard player beat women? And I was like, no, like I didn't see that, but I'm not shocked by it. I don't know. In this world, it's like, oh, really? That happens like every other week. And I'm like, dang, women can't even be better at billiards. That sucks. You would think that's like a sport they could compete in, but apparently not. Not saying they can't, obviously. Like, I know a girl who's good at billiards, but it's like, dang, women can't have anything in this world anymore. All they have is the right to vote, the right to be a Democrat, the right to go to a Taylor Swift concert and scream at the top of their lungs like harpies, or lovely, I don't know. I don't want to call women. If I go after Taylor Swift fans, I'm like, I just got back from vacation. I'm already like making jokes about the FBI deputy director and Taylor Swift fans. It's like, this is why I don't want to make videos anymore. I'm just trying to live in peace. But, they say, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. I guess I don't have anything nice to say. So it's like, it's kind of a problem when you should just stay quiet, but then you run a social media channel for your living. I'm in quite the paradox right now, but Taylor Swift is cool. That's what I think, people. Don't get it twisted. She's very cool. Listen, okay, Taylor Swift was really hot, but now she's not hot because Daddy Trump said she's not hot anymore. So her hotness expired. Hot card expired from Trump. I'm going to stop the war. Now I'm going to start the war. Now I'm going to stop the war again. We're going to stop it. We're going to start it. We're going to get a mineral deal. We're going to give them weapons. We're going to take the weapons. We're going to yell at Zelensky. We're going to give them money. We're going to take the money. We're going to give it back. We're going to say that Palestine is sad, but then we're going to give the weapons to Israel. Then we're going to meet with Qatar and we're going to say end the war, but then we're going to start the war. But Taylor Swift is ugly. Okay. I didn't say that. Trump said that. So if Taylor Swift fans see that somehow, I did not say that. That was my Trump impression. So you could blame Trump for that. But, someone said, that's how I feel. Nothing nice to say anymore. I mean, I feel like I have nice things to say, but it's like I'm watching a video of Kash, Patel, and Dan Bongino talk about Epstein. Like, am I supposed to watch that and be like, yeah, Patriots? Yeah, I'm sure they have all the files. It's like they have the files that the government wanted to show them. And the government's not going to be like, hey, we were working with Epstein or whatever. It's like, that's not what they're showing them. So I don't know what to say. I'm going to keep this one brief. I feel like I'm not going to say flawless because there were obviously mistakes made, but I feel like it's pretty solid. And the longer I go, I'm just going to ruin that. Plus, I'm kind of like mentally tired because I haven't done a stream in a while. So I'll be back. Like I said, I'm going to do some full-fledged reports, etc., and some good stuff. I have a lot planned for you. Sorry about that. I'll just let you know for those who care, and for those who don't care and are watching, unfortunately, you have to listen to this too unless you click X. Yeah, I went to Florida for a little bit. I just hung out. I saw my family, and then I went on a cruise with a family member just to relax. Like, I posted beach pictures, and everybody was like, I want to see Anomaly's girlfriend. And it's like, I don't know. I went with a family member just to spend time. I feel like that's a nice way. Obviously, like, eventually I'll have a wife and a girlfriend and stuff. But people are like trying to start rumors. Like, I wonder who's with them. I'm like, can a man not take a nice family vacation, spend time with the family? Yeah, I was chilling, and it was like a double. Obviously, I got to relax and have fun and tune out of politics, but I try to really see my family as much as I can because I have a flexible schedule and I don't live near them. So that's what I did. I saw my family for a couple weeks. I saw my mom for Mother's Day. It was a beautiful thing. Now I'm back to work. So, luckily with this job, I'm able to kind of work on the go. But this time I didn't want to like do videos. I wanted to just kind of like tap out for a little while. And it was great. And now that I'm back, it's like, it's cool to be back. But at the same time, I'm like trying to be intentional with what I talk about. Cause I guess like the longer you go away from politics, the less you really care. It's like the same story on loop. So I'll definitely talk about things I care about and try to build meaning out of this. But I don't want to be part of the rat race of just like every day reacting to something that I don't really care about. And I see on like Twitter, people are fighting all the time. It's like, I don't have time to fight with people. I got like goals to do. It's like, I don't want to beef with someone I've never met on a social media platform or argue with somebody in the comment section. Like, that doesn't sound fun. So that's why I invested in this background and like technology to make like real news reports. That's my goal from this year. Not to be lazy and be like, I'm a hipster, I don't even like my job. I know that's what it sounds like, but my goal is to just do it better, do it better, do it more meaningful, and have more fun with it. So that's what I've been doing. And for those who don't know and haven't seen them, go check out some of my reports. I talked about Steven Crowder talking about AIPAC and a few other ones. I think that's the last video I did. That's why I brought that one up. But I'm really taking the time with like a sick camera and good editing skills to do the same type of videos I used to do, the reports, but at the same time, just up the quality of it without changing the authenticity of it. So I think it's been going well. And I'm really trying to build that model out. So thank you guys for being here. God bless you. I'll still do some live streams once in a while when it seems like the time is right, but that's what it is. Appreciate you guys. Check out all my social media if you want to stay tuned, and I'll have more videos very soon. Also, I have a song coming out on Thursday. It's called Don't Play. And for those who like hip hop music or want to check out that song, I got a song and a music video coming out this Thursday. Appreciate y'all. Have a beautiful day. I'll be back soon. Hey, what's going on, my friends? Just a few ways to stay in touch and support if you'd like to. The first way is dreamrare.com. We have blue beanies, black beanies, pink hats, other colored hats, freedom versus tyranny shirts, Stay Blessed long sleeve, God is Great long sleeve, and lots of more cool items coming soon. Dreamrare.com. Check out the shop to support. Everything's made in the United States. Handpicked by me. Patreon.com/raretalk. For $5 a month, you can help support me, support the show. If you haven't noticed, unlike other channels, I don't work with very many sponsors, sometimes none at all. And part of the way I'm able to do that is with the dreamrare.com shop and patreon.com/raretalk. So thank you guys for keeping this show free, unimpeded, uninterrupted. I'm forever grateful. My free email list is stayintouchwithme.com. So check the links below in the description or just type in on any browser, stayintouchwithme.com, all one word. You'll find my email list, put it in there, and it's the least annoying email list you'll ever be on. I barely use it because I don't like getting emailed every day or every week. It's annoying. So I don't do it. Stayintouchwithme.com. It helps me take back some power away from big tech. Telegram, t.me/dreamrarechat or @dreamrarechat. Due to censorship, I post all my live stream and videos there. Sometimes I have some bonus content, and I try to give people a heads up when Facebook or YouTube won't. Dreamrare Chat at Telegram. My Instagram is @dreamrare. Thanks for everybody following there for shorter content. And dreamrarelinks.com, that's dreamrarelinks.com, has all my stuff. My podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, my music on Spotify and Apple, my Rumble page, my BitChute and Gab page. All my links are found at dreamrarelinks.com. Thanks for watching, folks. God bless you. You already know I'll be back with more content.